So my name is OP Bonbon. I'm also known as OP Black Z. This is going to be, I'm going to put out a video every now and then. This is going to be what I call the Wall of Shame, where something happens and I've taken the attitude nowadays that instead of yelling at people, instead of acting trollish back to the trolls, you don't want to feed the trolls. That's basically what it comes down to. I have XSplit, I have my computer, I save my replays. Why on earth would I sink down to a trolls level? And why on earth would I not do this? This is my wall of shame. This is where I am going to show off people who failed somehow, or people who thought they were being clever or funny. And even if I knew how to, I'm not blocking out account names. This is going to be fun. So, let's jump over to the game screen and... wrong button. Our troll today that we are actually just going to be watching, this is not even going to be on what I would usually do. This is going to be completely on, where are you? Anivia. And so far, you probably are looking at this team comp wondering, what is going on? Cassidon, we have Anivia. Okay, maybe Anivia support, but no. Smiteless Olaf. Well, since I'm Olaf, you can all know that I don't jungle. I try to sometimes, I fail. I'm not that good at jungle. You already could see a problem with Anivia. Well, I shouldn't say you can already see a problem, but Anivia's coming here.
So young, so naive.
Looks like Anivia's trying to help protect from an invade.
So young, so naive.
I'm coming over here because I think we might invade.
So young, so naive.
So yeah, we decide we're going to invade. It's kind of funny. By the way, this game was played last week. There, Ash goes showing the invade, going the wrong way. It's kind of a fail already.
You're going to get. Take a good look. It's the last you're going to get. Take a
So,
good look. It's the last you're going to get. Take a good look.
I'm kind of surprised that they didn't prepare for this. But yeah, we came up. Flash was burned. So far, this is looking like a pretty legit game with a very odd team comp. It's kind of odd. People are recalling already when we're like, don't. We should have known something was up right there. Anivia just walled them in. Now Anivia's following me. Okay. This is actually probably my second game with Olaf. I probably only have like 500 games played. Which isn't that much. Let's face it. I may be keeping up with the 1,000 win people, but I haven't even played 1,000 games. It's kind of amusing, actually. So right now, Anivia is my pain. And we're pushing hardcore. This is where Anivia decides, I'm going to go mid. This is a 20-minute game, as you can see already. As something is actually kind of off right now. Let me fix this. As you see letters moving. Anyway. So, Anivia sits down. which a lot of people right now would think this is not trolling, but sitting in lane and not doing anything actually is trolling. Now this is us trying to get Nivea to leave, because now not only are you sitting in lane soaking up EXP, you're trying to take last hits and pushing lane at the same time. You're kind of being a jerk. So and that's where our mid wants to report Anivia, which honestly I completely agreed with at this point. Because this is griefing. And that is the first wall to come down of many that this Anivia will try to trap people in. This is probably the worst troll that I've seen. Just, they wanted mid and they're like, well, I want mid and I'm gonna troll for her because I didn't get it. Which was funny because they're like, well, I'm gonna go bot then, and then they realized, well, we have someone bot. And just a pain. I really don't like trolls. And a lot of pinging, but what can you do when the person will not leave your lane and is putting you behind? And doing stuff like that. But things will actually get worse. Anivia is coming back top, probably to troll me more. Like I said, this game is played last week, and I play a decent amount of games a week. At this point, I'm just like, I need to buy. There's things I need to fight this Jax. Whether I should get Ninja Tabby or maybe Ninja Tabby with the kilt of magic resistance, as I like to call it. And that's what happens when Jax jumps on Anivia. Because honestly, it's Anivia. And it's Jax. Now that was kind of nice to see that, we got first blood and didn't lose someone over it. I was kind of happy to see this. And then I'm waiting to hear it, because as you saw on the mini-map, we do get a visitor down there. But what can you do? So, oddly enough, we actually start this. I didn't hear the announcement, that's kind of funny. But we do start this 2-0. Because bot's kind of amazing. And Anivia is doing stuff to our mid again. This Anivia is pretty troll and pretty fail. As you'll see in a bit, that this Anivia is pretty fail. Although I'm not even sure how you would say that name. Qrix0s? Either way, it turns out that this player actually is a pretty decent player. Had won, I think, out of their last 10 games, when I looked, they had won a lot of them and they were ranked. Unfortunately, this is not ranked. hence the ash and the ash. So now you get Anivia trying to take on one person, but again, we are 3-0 right now. I honestly actually don't even know how we did this well. 3-0 with this troll who's taking farm right now from both of us and sitting in lane. But we'll see in a minute where the trouble kind of really starts. Because, I mean, we don't have a jungle, but Nivea, who's trying to gank people right now. And this is where top, I was kind of confused because I saw stuff go down there, but no one died, so it was kind of funny. And now we see Anivia in mid again, trying to take more farm from our mid. Just clearing an entire wave and then going home. There is stuff happening other places. We are 3-1 right now, but that's not really important. I'm not really casting this to show what everyone else is doing, to show amazing games. This is all about Qrix0s. I don't want to do a dyslexic moment. Those Qrix0s. No, Qrix0s. Actually, it's a kind of an interesting name. Now, at the moment, I thought that Anivia had tried to save our Kassadin, but it actually turns out that Kassadin had jumped over the wall when I looked. And Anivia was actually trying to get Kassadin killed. Pretty troll, right? Pretty troll. But nothing you can really do about that. I mean, this is what Nivea does. Also showing off why Nivea is actually pretty good mid, because Nivea is doing a pretty good job at stealing farm. And it's pretty aggravating. Kassadin's going bottom to try to help with a gank, since Anivia is clearly actually just not going to let him farm. And they're worried I'm getting ganked top. Just suboptimal. And things are happening. So I also believe they didn't believe that I was going to cast this, so Qrix0s and whoever you queued with, because I know you queued with at least one person here. You are in the internet, and you are on YouTube. Look yourself up. I will even be putting your account name, or I shouldn't say your account name, but your summoner name in the title. Just because, no hard feelings. But you are pretty troll. And I remember what the end of the game looks like. I can even see it in my replay window, the ending stats. And this actually is where we're talking that a tier plus chalice is kind of overkill. Because if you have a chalice and a tier, then I don't know. Unholy Grail and Archangels, I guess you really don't want to have mana problems. Or you want to just do that every time. Also feed. Narrowly escaping. That is where I trade for Jax. I want to say yes, we ignited each other. Now here is where they kill Anivia under the turret. And now we get to see some other people until Anivia comes back up. Then I'm going to set it back to follow Anivia. But it's a pretty boring game, actually. Like I said, Wall of Shame. This is not that good of a game. Bot, actually, I'm going to give props to Bot because they actually did really good, even though they kept trying to be ganked. But the fact that we didn't have a jungle, I was put back a little bit early game, even though I still think that I didn't do too bad, because at this point I had just traded. I'm being out farmed a bit, but it is like my second Olaf game. And yeah, it's my second Olaf game. Is it? Yes, Anivia is back up and coming to mid. So let's see what our troll's doing and what our Hall of Shame player is up to. Again, you're just seeing, because Cat's been able to free farm basically with unimpeded. Because even though there's been two people, they can't stop her. Cat only has one kill, but 100 farm at 15 minutes. Which isn't the best, but hey, that's pretty good. Getting up there, you're getting farmed. It also doesn't help that the closest person is actually Anivia, who's taking most of the farm from mid. Top is actually kind of a brutal lane because Jax and Olaf, they're two just bruisers that want to just go at each other. Ashe is actually getting a bit fed. Although, I'm still going to have to lean into not quite liking Ashe as an AD carry. Just because, not because Ashe is bad. Not because Ashe is bad at all. But when you have like Graves or Ezreal or Corki, as good as Ashe can be, then it's hard not to pick some of the other AD carries. I mean, I own Ashe, but as good as Ashe, say Ashe Sona is, even post nerf Ashe Ez still is strong. I mean Ashe Ez, Sona Ez is really strong. See, this is what happens. You start recording and then your mind goes. You start losing your mind. This is a pretty boring part of Anivia just jungling. Although, I don't remember. We might have an awkward moment where Anivia... No, Anivia does not run into Diana. But Diana is coming for me now. And Diana could take me. I don't quite remember if she does, but Diana could take me. Because Jax is strong. Jax is a strong top. I'm looking for myself. And yes, this is where I do get taken. This is also where we start seeing an argument forming between Anivia and our mid. Which, because our Nivea wants basically everything. Our Nivea wants to be mid, which means we're essentially playing 4v1 because we have a Cassidin that's completely underpowered. No fault to the Cassidin because Anivia is taking a lot of his farm. Cassidin's been able to farm, he'd have a lot right now. And Anivia, again, is going to be killed under turret because, hey, why not? So now we have a 1 and 2 Anivia who's not even getting assists. And, I mean, in that situation, it doesn't matter who picks up the kill. If it's Diana or if it's Katarina, it's both bad situations because a fed Katarina is terrifying. A fed Diana is, well, terrifying. There's no one you really want to give these kills to. I mean, getting anyone fed is a bad idea, but these in particular are really bad ideas. I know at this point I cannot beat him in a straight up fight. Let's go back to our star of the show, Qrix0s. With an interesting spelling. I wonder if this Anivia is actually a Magic the Gathering player and wanted to spell Grixis, but Grixis was taking, so Qrix0s sounded like it. Now Diana's getting fed, which isn't a good sign. Jax can actually fight me, which also not a good thing. I mean, it's a good thing that Anivia, I guess, is doing stuff, but the lack of a proper jungle who can actually gank and oh yeah, guess what? Anivia died again. And here's where we surrender for and I just ult and run at them. Anyway, this has been the Hall of Shame. Keep playing, keep having fun, and good luck and keep playing, have fun, and let's have some good games. Hopefully none of you guys will actually show up here. So